1045 The Team, your home for New York sports.
And joining us now, dare I call him one of my former bosses way back when in my old New York Collegiate Baseball League days. It is Paul Gotham. He covers college basketball for Pick and Splinters. He's also a part of the United States Basketball Writers of America. So, Levack, although you think you're my boss sometimes, this guy actually was my boss at one time. And if you don't believe me, look how much better his seats have been in Buffalo than closer seats. Paul, how did that happen, man?
It's an investment in time. You got to put in your time, and you know some people, I guess. But by the way, you're using the term "boss" very loosely. At least when it comes to me, I can't speak for anybody else. But when it comes to me, using that term loosely.
That's all right. He understands it loosely now. Paul, while you're there with the great seats and everything, what was your favorite game of yesterday? What was the one that you enjoyed the most?
Jeepers. Take your pick. Probably, I loved Bucknell's comeback on West Virginia. I loved what Princeton did against Notre Dame. That was great stuff. And Notre Dame's ability to kind of hang with that one. But Bronson Koenig, what gets overlooked here is Bronson Koenig. I don't think this is out there. He set an arena record with those 8 3-pointers last night. They were all talking about as far as an NCAA tournament record and a Wisconsin record, but that was a KeyBank Center, which used to be the First Niagara Center, which used to be the Marine Midland Bank Arena. That was an arena record with those 8 3-pointers that he hit last night, which was just he was unconscious there.
Now, with all those 8 3-pointers, we asked Brian this question. I'll ask you the same one. Wisconsin, if they get that hot, are they capable of taking down Villanova?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But here's the thing. I go with chalk. I see Villanova going back to the Final Four. I think if we go back in time, Final Four and national championship teams always have that one game where they struggle. I mean, if we go back to the last time the NCAA tournament was in Buffalo, it was 2014. UConn was a 7 seed. People forget they had to go overtime to beat St. Joe's in the first round. They were down 3 in the final minute of play. Shabazz Napier goes nuts in overtime. They pull it out and they win a national championship. So there are a lot of points in history where that national championship team has struggled in the first round or two.
West Virginia, Notre Dame on the other side. Those two matching up, Bob Huggins versus Mike Bray. Bob Huggins seems like when you're that close, an ultimate personality on the sidelines.
He's great. His national perception is completely misunderstood. The players love him. I know Ron Everhart, one of his assistant coaches. Ron Everhart would lay down on train tracks to say Bob Huggins if he had to.
Paul Gotham with us right now, 1045 The Team. You can check out his great stuff at pickandsplinters.com. Follow him on Twitter at pickandsplinters. Listen, I almost don't want to let Goz go here, but I know what I can see his mouth watering right now.
Well, I feel bad because I wasn't able to attend the Western New York events this week. You and I had to go to Hooters and Saratoga Stadium this week. It's been a tough life to live.
It's horrible. We're suffering, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know how we're making it. What's the media food like right there at the KeyBank Center?
You'll hear no complaints from me. You will hear no complaints from me. It's plenty. In fact, I have to be careful because people who know me might not think this is possible, but I have a tendency to overeat. And that usually brings upon drowsiness. So I have to be careful, especially on a day like yesterday when there are 4 games going on.
Paul, it's weird you mentioned that. I feel like after yesterday and today, somebody's sneaking in and shrinking my clothes. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Shrinking your clothes and taking away your sleep at the same time.
Right, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on. So, Paul, coming up today on the slate, what's the game that's really got your attention?
What's the game that's really got my attention? Well, I cover a lot of Atlantic 10, so I want to see how Rhode Island and Dayton end up doing today. So those 2 games will certainly be on the barometer, be on the radar for me. Definitely want to see. Rhode Island, people are going to see them, as an upset. Obviously, they're an 11 seed. What a lot of people don't know is this Rhode Island team is just kind of getting it together. E.C. Matthews, next level player. He's gonna play in the NBA at some point. He might be a free agent pick at some point, but E.C. Matthews is going to play at the NBA level. He's really good. But the guy that a lot of people are going to get introduced to today is Jared Terrell, who's he was a high major. He was being recruited by high major teams when he settled with Rhode Island and Dan Hurley, and he trusted them because they were putting together something there. And what people don't know is that Rhode Island team, E.C. Matthews blew out his knee in the first game of last season, or we could be talking about Rhode Island returning to the NCAA tournament, not appearing for the first time since 1999.
Yeah, and that was a team in the top 20 in the preseason. A lot of people thought Rhode Island could be a team to get all the way to the Elite Eight. This draw with that injury with Oregon, it may set up for the Rams to make that push. And I know the brackets have already been completed for everybody. The time has passed, but we never found out the Paul Gotham bracket. Who do you have in your Final Four in the national championship game?
So you're gonna put my feet to the fire on this.
Right? Yeah, people want to root for you. I think if they don't want to root for their own bracket.
right. Well, if I'm gonna go, I'll go with the chalk bracket. The obvious bracket and the way people are going to kind of see things playing out. I see Villanova. There's too much experience there. I see them returning. I see Arizona probably getting out of the West. I mean, they have a lot of firepower with that team. I have a difficult time going against North Carolina's experience at the same time. The Midwest is kind of, I don't know, Louisville, maybe in the Midwest. I don't know. But my heart says the winner of West Virginia Notre Dame goes.
Wow.
The winner of West Virginia Notre Dame goes to the Final Four.
I like it. Paul Gotham, Picking Splinters. You can follow him on Twitter at Picking Splinters. Paul, it was great talking to you, man. And I can see you're a good guy, and you had to put up with Goz, so we have that in common. We'll probably go to the same support group not too long from now.
Put up with Goz. I think he put up with me.
Yeah, everything looks better in the rearview mirror, Paul. I'm telling you.
Paul, we'll talk again in baseball season. Maybe without Levack at that point. Take care, man.
Paul, thanks for your time, man.
Thanks, man. Anytime.